Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome from the Gardens Point campus of the QUT Business School. My name is Larry Neal. I'm the Associate Dean and a Marketing Professor here. I've got some great students and a former student with me today. If we could ask Mia and Heath and Izzy just to wave and say hi to everybody. And thank you for coming along to our Open Day presentation. We would have loved to have welcomed you to the Gardens Point campus, and we hope to welcome you here very soon. The Gardens Point and the Kelvin Grove campuses, we recognize the Turrbal and Yagara people as First Nations owners of the land where QUT now stands. And we recognize that they've always been places of learning and research and innovation. And we hope to humbly continue with that tradition here at QUT. So one of the questions you'll probably be asking yourself in general is why study business at QUT? And before I get going on and giving you some of the reasons, I should just say you've got a chat facility there which you can start sending your questions through. We will go through this presentation quite quickly to leave time for questions at the end, and we'll try and answer as many as we can as we go through. But if you do have them, send them in, and we'll try and respond to as many as we can as we go. So QUT, our business school, is ranked in the top 1% of universities globally. Our graduates can hold their heads high regardless of where they go in the world. We are the most popular business degree in Queensland for a really good reason. Our degree is continuously improving our course structure. We strive to maintain relevance, and we have great industry connections at QUT. And one of the reasons that we do have the most popular business course in Queensland is that a huge number, you can see almost 90% of our business graduates were employed 4 months after graduation. We have more than 80 overseas partner institutions, and we'll talk about our international experiences in just a moment, and a great entrepreneurial hub here at QUT. And if starting your own business or even developing the entrepreneurial mindset is part of what you want out of the transformative nature of a business degree, then QUT is the place for you. Our undergraduate business courses, we have our Bachelor of Business, we have an international business degree, as well as our Dean's Honours and our Bachelor of Property Economics. And also I want to talk to you about double degrees as well. Our undergraduate Bachelor of Business degrees has 10 majors that you can see there on the screen. All business students will take a business core that comprises 8 units, and you'll be exposed to some really skills-based learning. And so you'll look at what industries might be looking like in 5 or 10 years' time, the different scenarios that play out in industry. We're looking at budgeting and financial reporting, and you'll also see how marketplaces add value. And you'll also get the chance to interrogate your own values and see how you fit into an organization and how the organization fits into making the world a better place, all as part of your business core. Then you'll take 8 units in your major from the list of 10 majors that you see on the screen there. And then there are elective units that you can take either a second major, you perhaps want to do a minor, which comprises 4 units of study, or you can take electives from the business school or even wider across the university. Our Bachelor of Business International degree is a 4-year degree. So you basically do the Bachelor of Business, as I showed you on the previous slide, but then there's another international year that is added in as well, or integrated, I should say, into the program. And so in that year, you can choose from our exchange partners around the world. And if you choose a few of them that we have in Europe, then you may even earn a second degree, so 2 degrees in 4 years. It's great for languages and cultural immersion. It is the international experiences are life-changing, and I'm going to ask Heath to talk about those in just a few moments' time. We have also flexible exchange studies as well, short-term and long-term, and we strongly encourage our students to have an international experience as part of their degree. The Dean's Honours Program is an honours year on top of the Bachelor of Business degree. There's a scholarship that goes with it, and the skills that come in the honours program are really great for setting students up for a career, a specific career, or even just the research skills that come out of it. The project management skills that come out of an honours program set students up really well. We also have a Bachelor of Property Economics. And so if you're interested in valuation, in property development or consultancy, property management or funds management, we have a professionally recognized Bachelor of Property Economics. And I encourage you to discover more about it on the business school website that has all the information that you would need for the Bachelor of Property Economics. Double degrees are an important part of what we do at QUT. We have made it so that we have a really flexible and open double degree system where we connect, as a business school, we connect with most other faculty. In fact, we connect with all of the other faculties for double degrees. It's 2 degrees. You get to broaden your skills beyond what you might be doing in another faculty to add the business school as well. And the application of that is through QTAC, and the course codes are available there. And this is where I want to bring Heath in. Just before I do, you can see there on the screen the list of double degrees that we have in the business school. The most popular ones are business with law, business with information systems, information technology, and business with engineering, but you can choose there from about 20 different double degrees that are available at QUT. So Heath, I'll ask you to talk to everyone, say hi, and talk about your double degree and a few things also about some international experiences.
Hi everyone, thanks Larry for the handover. My name is Heath. I'm in my final semester of a double degree in business and law here at QUT. Today I'm really excited to talk briefly to you guys about what it's like studying a double degree, as well as some of the cool experiences I've had at QUT in terms of business competitions, internships, and overseas opportunities. So Larry touched on double degrees just briefly just then, and what a double degree is basically is you can combine your degree in business with a degree in a different field. As you saw on the other slide, there are a lot of different options to do that. I've got lots of friends that are studying business with law, like I'm doing. Lots of creative friends who combine their business degree with a creative degree. A lot of friends who are sort of mathematically minded, and they might do an engineering or a maths or a science degree alongside their business course. So it's a really good option. There's a couple of reasons why I think studying a double degree is really popular. The first thing is if you're passionate about multiple different areas, you can study both of the things and get some expertise in both of the different areas. So in my case, when I left high school, I was really passionate about legal studies as well as economics and business, and I couldn't choose between which one I wanted to do, and I got to study both of those areas that I was passionate about. The other thing that's really good is a lot of double degrees have a broad crossover between the two different fields. For example, with my law course, I'll learn about the legal implications of different business structures. And in business, I'll learn about which business structures might be more profitable for different types of companies. So the two fields cross over really well. A couple of myths about double degrees. The first one is something that a lot of people ask me, is it double the workload? And it's definitely not. Most students will study 4 subjects per semester at uni, and they'll just do 4 business subjects, for example. Instead of 4 business subjects, I'll do 2 business subjects and 2 law subjects. So it's the same workload, it's just spread out into different areas. And it doesn't take double the time either. My normal law degree would take me 4 years to complete, whereas my double degree with business and law is only 5.5 years to complete. So I get an extra degree with the business course for only an extra 1.5 years of study. So it's not double the workload and it's not double the time either. The other thing that I've really loved about my business course is the other opportunities outside of the classroom that I've had exposure to. The first one of these is business case competitions, where I work in small teams to solve real problems under time pressure. So that picture at the top of the slide was a few months ago in Montreal, where we had 3 hours to solve a business problem and then present to the management of that company. And with these competitions, I've been really lucky to travel to Montreal, Vancouver, Beijing, Hong Kong, Canberra, and Queenstown in New Zealand for these competitions. It's a great way to start thinking practically about business issues and take what I've learned in the classroom and apply it to a practical scenario. I also was really lucky to spend a lot of time overseas as part of my degree. I spent 12 months living in Tokyo, where I studied my business degree overseas. I also studied Japanese language, and I also was able to do an internship over there. There's a lot of opportunities in the business course to study overseas for short terms or long terms. A really good option if you're interested in it. Finally, I also was lucky to do 7 internships through my degree, and QUT helped to facilitate a lot of those. And what I found was that the things I was learning in the classroom directly lined up to what I was asked to do on my internships. For example, in my business course, I did a lot of business data analysis, where I had to take real data sets and understand it and recommend something. Then in my internships, I was asked to do the same thing, but with real companies and real information. So the things I was learning in the classroom directly translated to what I needed to do in my internships. So guys, just to finish up, I see there's a lot of people chatting in the chat box here. I'll be online on the QUT chat for the rest of the day. So if you have any other questions, please come and say hi. So it looks like we're having a little bit of difficulties with the technology there. What we might do then is, Izzy, do you want to jump on and talk about your experiences with QUT and what you've done since then? And we'll fix up the technology and come back to Larry in a sec.
Yeah, definitely. Hi everyone, my name is Izzy Kalaja. I am a QUT Business School graduate. I graduated in the end of 2017, I think now, and I work for a company called Deloitte or Deloitte Digital. So I'm a consultant and a content specialist, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how my experiences at QUT led me to where I am today. And the career outcomes that I've been able to achieve so far. So I originally started with QUT in year 12. So I was part of the Start QUT program, which is where you undertake one of the core business units during year 12. And I was lucky enough to actually have Larry as my professor. So as an outcome of taking that subject with him, I applied for the Corporate Partners in Excellence Scholarship, which I think we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. But essentially that scholarship means that you're not only financially supported throughout your Bachelor of Business degree, but you also have 2 full-time internships with some of the business school's corporate partners. So for me, I was a marketing major and I was placed at Coca-Cola, which was incredible, and also at Bank of Queensland. And I was actually able to work with them for the entirety of my final year of study. Similar to Heath, I was also part of the international case competition team. I went on exchange to Copenhagen Business School for 6 months. I was also part of the New Colombo plan, so I got to go to Japan for a couple of weeks. So over the course of my 3 years here, I was able to travel to more than 15 countries, which was absolutely astounding. And on top of all of that, I also applied for an internship with Deloitte, where I currently work, or what we call a summer vacationer program. So when I applied for that internship or program, I was working at at Coca-Cola, and that was something that Deloitte really valued and wanted to hear more about in terms of my work experience and what I was able to kind of apply for my classroom studies in the workplace. And that was kind of what got my foot in the door. So I went on to complete an internship with the team that I'm currently in today, and then accepted a graduate position with them for the following year. So before semester 1 had even started, in terms of my final year of study here, I had already locked in my job, which was an incredible feeling. And once I had graduated from my final year here, I actually spent 6 months in Florida working at Walt Disney World as part of the Disney College program. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge Disney nerd. So it was just so much fun. And then I was able to jump back in with my team at Deloitte. So to talk about what Deloitte is, or what it is that I actually do very quickly, Deloitte is kind of like an onion. We do a lot of different things. There are lots of layers. So I'm part of our consulting division, and within that, I'm part of Deloitte Digital. So as a consultant, different brands and companies come to us with different kind of problems or challenges that they'd like help solving or help working on. And being part of Deloitte Digital, we apply digital solutions and marketing solutions and brand solutions to those problems. So we work side by side with our clients. And so far I've had an enormous amount of opportunity with Deloitte as well coming out of QUT. So I was promoted last December. I've been able to travel to a few different places as well with work. So I was flying in and out of New Zealand every week at one point. We did consulting bootcamp training at the MCG, which was amazing. And I've also worked between Sydney, Melbourne, and Canberra more broadly. But to speak to something that happened this year, I was asked to give a presentation at what's called Interactive Minds, which is a marketing meetup here in Brisbane, to a room of 200 different kind of business leaders and marketing and brand leaders. And I presented on the topic, which I called How to Marie Kondo Your Content. And I just truly never would have been able to do that without all of the practice I'd had going on these international case competitions and also pitching during class, because a lot of what I did as part of my marketing major were a lot of real world case studies and pitches. So that's one example, a really tangible example of how something I did and experienced at university has kind of led to something very specific and direct in my career so far. I've also come back to QUT, so I'm studying a Master of Philosophy part-time, which is kind of an independent research study or research thesis. So I'm doing that part-time along my full-time job still, which just goes to show that there's always more to learn here. And Larry is actually one of my supervisors, along with Dr. Paula Jutson, who's absolutely incredible. But I'll try and pass back over to Larry. Are we back online, Larry?
I hope we are. Thank you very much. And thanks for taking over, everybody. And yeah, thanks for your experiences, Izzy. I really appreciate that. Our graduates are internationally competitive and nationally competitive, of course. We have a business advantage program that sits alongside our course. It's free to business students, and it helps them in things like optimizing their LinkedIn profiles. It helps with developing an entrepreneurial idea. It helps with interviews. And the Business Advantage program is award-winning. As I said, it's free, and one of the things that sets us apart from other business degree programs that's available for our students. And I mentioned this at the start, but we have some of the best entrepreneurship programs here at QUT as well. And so if you're at all entrepreneurially minded or want that kind of support that's available here at QUT, we have the Entrepreneurship Foundry, where great ideas are shared and built and nurtured. There's help for entrepreneurs. There's great support available for them. And so QUT should be the place if you're at all entrepreneurial. In terms of scholarships that are available, we have lots of merit scholarships. The Dean's Honours Program I mentioned earlier, which is an honours year on top of the Bachelor of Business degree. The Business Academic Excellence Scholarships that Mia is about to talk about in just a moment, and also the Corporate Partners in Excellence Scholarship. Now, the CPIE is our flagship scholarship program. It is extremely effective because our CPIE scholars spend two 15-week internships at some of the leading organizations in Brisbane as part of their degree, and we structure the degree around it. The scholarship is worth $36,000 over 3 years, and applications are on the QUT website. So I encourage you to look at the CPIE scholarship and all our scholarship options. And so that's where I'll pass over to Mia to talk about her scholarship and also a little bit more about what student life is like at the QUT Business School. Morning, Mia.
Thanks, Larry. Hi, everyone. As Larry said, I'm Mia, and I'm part of the Dean's Honours program here at QUT. So I'd never really considered studying honours as part of my business degree before, but when I got into the program, I was actually really happy to go on this pathway, because honours is such a great way to show your commitment to a high level of expertise, but also gain really in-depth knowledge into your chosen study area. As well as this, as part of my scholarship, I got granted membership into the College of Excellence at QUT, which is a society for high achieving students. One of my favourite things about the College of Excellence is definitely the different events that they hold. So whether it's workshops telling you how to nail your job interview over Zoom, or social events like our weekly coffee catch-ups where you just hang out with your friends and have free coffee. There are lots of amazing events, and I've met some of my best friends through the college. So it's something that I'm very, very grateful to be a part of. Another highlight from the College of Excellence was definitely the camp that we got to go on at the start of the year. I met so many great people and got to undergo some really good personal development workshops that made me feel really confident and ready to start my journey at QUT. So as well as these social benefits, there's obviously a lot of financial benefits that come along with getting a scholarship. I really appreciate the financial assistance that I've gotten through my scholarship, because it's meant that I have had to work a little less and could invest more time in my studies and also into internships to gain a bit more hands-on experience for my career. So we've looked at that. There's lots of scholarships available. I would really strongly advise you to do a bit of research, because there aren't just academic scholarships. We have a lot of non-academic scholarships available. We have equity scholarships, also sporting scholarships. So definitely do your research. It's so easy to apply, and if you're successful, then it can make the biggest positive difference to your uni life. I'm actually going to be working in the scholarships information booth for the rest of the day. So please come and have a chat if you have any more questions about the scholarships that we have available at QUT. Moving on to a bit about student life, all the fun stuff. I really believe that the more you get involved at uni, the more you'll get out of your time as a QUT student. No matter what you're interested in, there is a club or society for you at QUT. And even if there isn't, then you can even apply to start your own club or society. At the moment, I'm involved in a society called 180 Degrees Consulting, which is a student-run consulting firm that provides business advice to not-for-profit organisations. So at the moment, I'm part of a team that's working with a not-for-profit coffee company to help make them better and set up an internship program for them which is really cool. So it's nice to be able to get some real world hands-on consulting experience, but also do a little bit of good for the community. During uni, I've also been part of the QUT Women in Business Society, which has given me fantastic opportunities to network with some really inspiring women in the industry, but also meet a lot of like-minded students. If you're interested in sport, then we've also got you covered at QUT. I actually play social sport, social netball every Monday, which is very good because I'm not really big into exercise, but the fact that I get to go out and have fun and spend time with my friends makes me more interested in it. I'm sure you've also heard about the university balls that we have on offer at uni. Often these do have different themes and they're so much fun. I mean, who doesn't love getting dressed up and dancing the night away with your friends? If there's one thing that I can leave you guys with today, it's that it's so important to find a balance. Uni is about so much more than attending your classes and handing in your assignments. I'd really encourage you to make sure that you're experiencing everything that QUT Life has to offer and getting involved in your student life at QUT.
Thanks, Mia. I can't agree with you more about embracing all of the opportunities that are available, regardless of where you go for your university experience, to take advantage of them, to meet people, to transform as part of the university process. Thank you very much, Mia. In terms of high school opportunities, while you're still in high school, how can you connect with the QUT Business School? We have the QUT START program. You can study 1 or 2 QUT units while you're still in high school. You just check with your own high school, but it's available to year 11 and 12 students, or year 12 students from year 11 onwards. And QUT covers the cost of the unit. If you pass it, you get the credit. If you don't, it doesn't count against your academic record. So it's very low risk, and it's a great way to take a bite-sized chunk out of university life while you're still in high school. So visit the QUT website, look for the QUT START program, and that'll be a good introduction to the QUT Business School before you even get here. And in terms of our expected ATAR selection, we're looking in 2020, it was 79, to give you an indication of what it might be for next year. And the Bachelor of Business International degree was 87. So 79 for the Bachelor of Business, that's what it was in 2020. And we'll be looking for, I would imagine, something similar in 2021. And it's a good time now. We've left enough time here at the end of our presentation, about 15 minutes or so, to answer your questions coming in via chat. So please send through your questions now. And we've got Mia and Izzy and Heath here, as well as me, to answer them for you. And we will see if we can answer as many as we can. I'll look for it. And Brooke has asked a question about, when you study overseas for a year in Japan without English, do you study the degree overseas in their language? No, Brooke, you study in English. All of our exchange programs are in English, and but you do get the language and cultural immersion from your time in that country. And so you'll pick up the language as a part of just living there and being immersed in the culture. But as far as your academics go, the study of instruction is English. Yep, so the START program for the QUT START program is for year 12 students, but start thinking about it in year 11 and contacting your guidance officer at your high school, and they'll be able to help you through as well. And we look forward to welcoming some high school students in year 12 onto our campus next year. And it's probably something I didn't highlight this, but all of our undergraduate majors are available both on campus and online from next year. We have really flexible study arrangements. And so if the work-life balance or is getting a little bit much and you can't make it to campus, we've got options for you. If there are further restrictions on campus, then we've also got you covered there, and you can start and finish degrees moving in and out of the on-campus and online modes as you deem necessary. So it's really flexible for students. We've got the systems and the right people to back it up. So keep that in mind as well. I'm just struggling to keep up with some of the chat questions that were going on here. If you, let's see, is the offer guaranteed being reduced for 2021? No, I don't believe so. I think we'll still have our guaranteed offers available in 2021 as well. When will the course be held back at uni? We are, Donna asking this, we are on campus and available for on-campus delivery right now, and we expect to be next year as well, depending on restrictions. But the QUT campus hasn't closed, the Gardens Point campus hasn't closed, and we expect that to continue next year as well. Kayla is asking, do I choose majors if I was to do a double degree in property economics and business? Heath, do you want to answer that one about choosing majors as part of a double degree?
Yeah, absolutely. So within your business course, every student gets to choose their major, whether they're doing a single degree or a double degree. So Larry talked about the structure where you have your core units, your major units, and then some optional units. With the double degree, all the students will still choose their major and also do the core business units as well. So whether you're doing that double degree with property economics, you can still choose from any of the 10 business major units to choose from.
Thanks, Heath. Zerda is asking, what if you start with just one degree and want to make it a double degree later on? What would I have to do? Double degree applications are through QTAC, but if you come in as a single business student, single degree business student, you can change into a double degree as long as you take all of the right business courses for your degree and don't take any of your electives. So if that's what you were planning on doing in your first year, come and do the business degree, take the core and units in your major, don't take any electives, and then you will be able to complete, or you should be able to complete the double degree in the same amount of time as everybody else doing it. But the applications for the double degrees are through QTAC. Kai is asking, was the online system available for business minors too then as well? Yes, all of our units will be available online on campus from next year. Liam is asking, he's talking about studying finance in order to get into investment banking, a dual degree of finance and engineering. Does that sound right? Yes, it does. And there's other good double degrees as well for students looking to get into investment banking. I encourage you to come to one of the chat booths and ask some more questions, Liam. But yes, the skills you would get out of engineering, the mathematical skills especially, have served our business students very well into lots of different degrees, and even going into business consulting as well.
Larry, I see there's a question there from Leanne about the Year 12 early offer scheme for business. Are you able to elaborate on how that scheme works?
Sorry, I just zoned out for a second there, Heath.
There's a question from Leanne about the Year 12 early offer scheme that's just been announced.
Yeah, so the early offer scheme, again, it was Leanne, I think. Feel free to ask more questions in the chat, but we'll make early offers for people that commit to QUT and coming into the business school with the right, with the ATAR scores as they stand. I don't know all of the details about it, but I encourage Leanne to come and chat about entry requirements and the early entry scheme. It's a good one for students who are a little bit unsure about what happens next and want to lock away their choices. Olatomi, what are the processes for applying for students interstate, and does it support students coming from another state? There's great support here at QUT for students coming from other countries and other states, and even if you're just coming from one of the suburbs of Brisbane as well. And in terms of the processes for applying, you would apply through the Queensland Tertiary Admissions Centre, or QTAC, Olatomi, and that's how students enter our undergraduate degrees. Mika is asking, will there be any short business courses offered at QUT in the future? I don't know if a full bachelor's degree is for me. We do have short courses, Mika. I'm not sure at what particular stage you're at, whether you're a high school leaver or you've had work experience. If you had work experience, then of a few years, I think it's 5 years, then our graduate certificates are open for people with 5 years of work experience in terms of the entry requirements. And we have, I think, about 14 different areas of specialization. A graduate certificate can be done in 1 semester of full-time study, or longer if it's part-time study, and a lot of the classes are held at night, and of course they'll be online as well, but to allow for those work commitments that people might have as well. Brianne is asking, diploma of business, does it give me credits within the Bachelor of Business? Yes, it very well might, and they'll be able to sort that out when you apply for QUT, Brianna. So I encourage you to do that, and you'll get an idea of the credit that you'll have towards your degree. Toby's saying, was asking, is it expected that the ATAR requirements will drop due to international students not being able to attend QUT? I don't think so, Toby, but watch this space, because we're not exactly sure yet. The QTAC offers start coming out, I believe, next month, and so you'll have you've got what it was in 2020, and you'll be able to see what it is for 2021 very soon. Just looking through here. Maybe I'll go to the end and start.
Is one about master business ideal for me if I'm interested in entrepreneurship?
Hi, is master business ideal for me if I'm interested in entrepreneurship? Rodrigo, yes, you can come in and do a master of business and choose your specialization. You can also do a graduate certificate as well if you want to commit to fewer subjects at the start. As I said before, there's entry for people with work experience, and there's so much other help available and support if you're interested in entrepreneurship and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. So I encourage you to check that out on the QT website. Also come and talk to some people here. We have some terrific mentors and support, and people who will challenge you in your entrepreneurship journey. Morgan's asking, would advertising or marketing be beneficial to work as a digital media director or art director? Izzy, can I ask you to respond to that one?
Yeah, I sure can. There are a variety of different pathways to kind of a role of that level, being art director. So at least in my team in Deloitte Digital, we have a variety of people with different skill sets in different roles. So I come from a business background and I'm a content specialist. We also have a lot of people that come from more of a visual communications background as well, who are art directors, people who studied fine art or people who studied more graphic design related degrees. But a lot of my friends, and one that I actually went through QUT with and now work with, who does graphics and creative more broadly, studied marketing with me, and she also did a double degree with visual communication. But I think it's important to remember, particularly in the digital space, that there are a lot of different pathways to where you want to eventually go. So I would probably just suggest finding, what you're passionate about and applying for that, and you'll be able to pursue whatever role you want kind of as your career unfolds when you have such a strong foundation. So I hope that helps, but I think there's definitely benefit to kind of having both sides in terms of more of the business and marketing lens, but also kind of more of the traditional art, fine art, or more of a visual communication lens as well.
Thanks, Izzy. James, I don't know if you're trolling me by saying you see the La Roche-Posay skincare over my shoulder here, but I'll respond anyway because it's a really good story. We participated in the L'Oreal Brandstorm competition, and we do that regularly every year. And in the past, we've been the Australian representative to fly to Paris to present our ideas. But more importantly, from a student perspective, probably half a dozen of our students have been hired by L'Oreal, starting in their Melbourne offices, and now they're all around the world working for a cosmetics giant. And so they're looking for innovators, they're looking for people with the skills of professional communication and being able to work independently and in teams and to be able to think critically and solve problems. Our participation in this industry competition and the connections that we have led directly to some really great graduate outcomes. Let's see if we can. Bianca's asking, can you study online for a semester in the process of moving to Brisbane? Welcome to Brisbane, Bianca, if you're coming, and the answer is yes. Chase is asking, can you do a double major? The answer is also yes to that, and you would use your elective or complementary studies block for your second major, Chase. The prerequisites needed for a business degree, we're looking at, from the undergraduate perspective, Patrick, that would be the ATAR score is for entry into our business degree. Patrick is also asking how many elective units are there for each course, such as international business. So I'll answer that in a couple of different ways. We have an international business major, which is 8 units of study on top of your 8 units of core. And the Bachelor of Business International, which is the 4-year degree where you spend 1 year overseas, also has elective units available for you as well. And our business degrees, our single business degrees have 8 elective units available, which go away if you choose the double degree option. So there are only a couple of electives available for you if you choose a double degree with that from another faculty. Tay is asking what sort of career outcomes comparing business and creative writing as a double degree lead to. I don't know if Izzy, you might want to respond to that one as well.
Yeah, sure. I put a quick little response in the chat, but pairing a business degree with anything to do with writing or art more broadly can definitely lead to a role similar to what I'm in now. So I'm a content specialist within Deloitte Digital. So I'm not only just writing content and kind of creating content more broadly, but we also set content strategies for business in terms of how they not only engage with their customers, but also how they engage with their employees internally. We set kind of tone of voice guidelines and help setting brand guidelines more broadly. And we also look at content governance. So how content is actually created within the business, how customers are involved in that journey, how long it takes for content to be kind of created and put out into the world, and how much that costs. So that's just one kind of area where you can kind of marry the two in a really nice pairing.
Thanks for that, Izzy. And we're just about to close the seminar. I'll answer your question, Lauren, very quickly. We have as many corporate partners and excellent scholarships as we have corporate partners to fill the positions for students. And so that's on a rolling basis, but please look at the website and apply. Please thank you very much for your attention. We hope to welcome you on campus soon. Please continue to ask questions in the chat facility, back in the chat booths. There'll be people there to answer your questions. I wish you a good weekend and hope to see you on campus or online at the QUT Business School very soon. Thanks everyone for your attention.